How's everyone doing? Good? Enjoying the entertainment? Enjoying the food? Can we have a round of applause for everyone who helped put this event together? Again, that was an amazing event. So, my name is Ritu. I just saw half of the room cringe at my Gora pronunciation of my name. But I'm an ABCD, and I can't change that. Kids, do you know what ABCD is?
America-born confused Daisy.
American-born confused Daisy. Right, that's us. We're ABCD. So I'm going to be pointing out some of my ABCD observations of Indian culture and my family. No one and nothing is safe. First, I have a question for the audience. Why are Indians so obsessed with cilantro? What's your thoughts on cilantro? Yash is saying it doesn't taste like anything. What do you think about cilantro? You think it's amazing she can't do anything without cilantro?
It's very good for health. It's
Very good for health?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. In my house, no dish is complete unless my mom has put a thorough sprinkling of cilantro on top. Sounds familiar? Yeah. People are clapping. There you go. But for me, cilantro tastes like nothing, smells like nothing. I could be eating paper for all I know.
Smells like nothing.
Yeah. Kids, what do you think? Anyone on my side? No? Yeah. There's some people over there who agree with me. And you know, ever since I started talking about how I don't like cilantro, my mom puts double the cilantro on my food. She goes, you don't like cilantro? Have my cilantro with love. You can't smell anything. And I think that the gene for liking cilantro might have just skipped a generation. Yeah? No? But you know, talking about generational divides, one thing that all generations can agree on is our love for Costco. Yeah? Everyone, yeah. Every Indian, the thing that makes us most happy is walking around in Costco, am I right? Yeah? My parents the other week, they were spending their Friday night in Costco. They said, let's go on a date night, we don't want to go to a restaurant, let's go to Costco, let's walk around Costco. And when they're there, everyone they're seeing is Desi couple, Desi couple, Desi couple, Desi couple. Costco on a Friday night has more Desi families than Sarvana Bhavan, okay? That's where all the Indians are at, on the Costco. So, I think the top two most iconic things about Costco, number one, the samples. Number two, the great deals. First, the samples. So I grew up with a passion for anything that is free. Am I right? Yeah. So you know how Costco samples, they range in quality. There's some really good samples like the Popcornopolis stands. Those are amazing when those are there. Sometimes they have ice cream. And then there's the slightly sketchier Costco samples, like when you walk down the end of the aisle right before the checkout, and they have that like vitamin section, then they'll be giving you pineapple electrolyte water. I will take it. I will take all the pineapple electrolyte water. I'm not paying for it. It's free. Thanks, Costco. Anytime I walk into a Costco, the first thing I do is make a mental map. Where are all the samples? Which ones am I going to go to? Which ones am I going to come back to? And you know that feeling when you go to a sample and you take your second sample? You feel so guilty, you know? You feel like the person's looking at you like... But the thing is, they can't tell you no. Did you know that? Costco employees can't tell you no when you ask for more samples. So take all the samples you want, guilt-free. That's their responsibility to you. You pay that Costco membership, that's what you get, right? Now, number two, the second greatest thing about Costco is the great deals. There is no such thing as walking into Costco unless you walk out with a million other things that you didn't know you needed, but you did, right? Like cat food for the cat that you don't have. But it was on sale! Every time my mom goes to Costco, which isn't very often, that's good for our credit card account, she comes back with a bunch of shirts, pants, dresses, pajama sets, what else? Shoes for me. She goes, try these on, I got them at Costco. And I'm like, I don't need all these clothes, I have enough clothes. And she goes, do you see the price? I can't not buy it. You don't get these prices anywhere other than Costco. Like, the value just blows your mind. And I know that it's not just my family, because I feel like every time you go into public, you're wearing your Costco clothes, you're just part of this cult of people who buy their clothes from Costco. You know what I'm talking about? So the other day at Costco, I got this new fleece jacket my mom brought for me. It's red with blue checkers. Anyone knows what I'm talking about? Okay, no one here has that jacket. One place where people don't have the same Costco clothes as me. And I was at the farmer's market, and there was an elderly lady who was there, and she had the same jacket as me, the exact same Costco jacket. So we walked by each other going like, 70 years age difference, wearing the exact same Costco jacket. Isn't that amazing? Costco just unites us, right? Exactly. And even my mom once, she wore a Costco jacket, and it was the same jacket as the lady who was selling her coffee. So that's what I love is, everyone wants great deals, everyone wants low prices. People from all walks of life are getting their clothes at Costco. It unites us, it brings us together. That's just beautiful, isn't it? So speaking of things that are beautiful, have you ever been on a family vacation and you're looking at this magnificent vista point and just admiring nature and you just feel like you're in such awe, right? So for me, whenever we go to these places, I can't appreciate it because the first thing that we have to do is take a picture as a family. Right? Because if you didn't take a picture as a family, it didn't happen. If it's not an album, that never happened. And the thing that my family does is we ask strangers to take our pictures. You guys do this too? Yeah. And we've gotten so good at picking out strangers who we think are good at taking pictures. Like, you look at someone, you're like, eh. And I don't know very much Hindi, but I do know, kisi ko pakdo. All the times I've heard my parents say that to each other, right? It happens all the time. So, you get a spectrum of people who'll take your picture. On one end, you ask the person and they're very shy, they're in the spotlight, they're like, oh no, this other person in my family can take a picture, but I can't do that. And then on the other end, you get the maestro photographer, who's adjusting the camera, doing the fine-tuning the settings, saying, oh, background, lighting, oh, move this way, move this way. And at that point, your family has lost it. You're standing there smiling for 5 minutes. You're like, just take the photo, come on, chalo, chalo. And it's like, whatever, the quality. And I thought that my family was bad. But once we were on a vacation, I see this other family, and the parents are yelling at the kids, smile, smile, smile. I want to see cheek. $5,000 to the orthodontist for nothing. Do we have families here who like to play board games? Yeah? What board games are we a fan of? Sequence? Any Monopoly? Has anyone played Catan? Has anyone played Clue? Clue? So it brings the family together, doesn't it? It's amazing. Our family is very, very, how do I say, cutthroat. Yeah. I think I've learned everything I need to know in life from playing board games with my family. Number one, negotiation. You're playing Monopoly, you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I wrestle this card out of this guy? You're trying to put together some deal, you're convincing, you're on full pitch mode. You're full startup mode, pitching your thing, you're trying to get that deal, right? Other thing is working together. You build these alliances, and then you break the alliances when someone else is in the lead. Board games with the family teaches you that nothing in life is permanent. Everyone's going to betray you at some point with the family board games. Once we were actually playing, we were sitting on the board, my brother's friend was over, and he looks at us and he's like, wow, you guys are so competitive. And the game hadn't even started. We were just setting up the board. We're setting up the board, and he's already like, oh my gosh, they are insane. Speaking of games, kids, do you ever play games on your computer and then your parents walk in and you switch the screen to make it look like you're doing homework? Yeah, raise your hand if you've ever done this before. Yeah, this is everyone. You know that your parents know when you're doing this? You're doing it now. Parents, they're just letting you think that you're getting away with it. And then one day, all of a sudden, they're gonna pull this out on you. I know what you've been doing all these years. Parents actually know a lot, kids, you know, you'd be surprised. They know that you don't actually hate your siblings, you just like causing drama.
Yeah.
Do we have any siblings here, or parents who have multiple kids, or kids with their siblings here? Yeah. Do you guys get along?
No.
No? I have a friend who it used to get so violent when her brother would come in her room. Her parents just said, okay, if you step into her room, you have to pay her $5. She steps into your room, pay $5, and that took away all the drama in the house. But I promise you parents, things get better when the kids get older. Now my brother and I, we don't fight as much. It gets better. Did you guys enjoy like laughing at these things about your family? And so, as Narain said, I think that comedy and especially telling these stories can help bring people together, and we can talk about these things that otherwise we might not talk about. And so I believe in the power of creating these conversations and bringing the community together to discuss parts of our identity. So I have started an open mic night series called At the Intersection, where we host these events around a theme. So the first one was being multilingual. The second one was connections across generations. And people come and they share stories, and it really brings us together, allows us to see that we have more in common than we have different. And so the next event that I'm having is actually tomorrow. I'm hosting one on religion, and I wanted to invite you, if any of this sounds interesting, it's going to be tomorrow from 4 to 6 at the ICC in Milpitas. And if you had a personal experience with religion, and or you just want to listen to the perspectives of the speakers, that will be a really meaningful discussion that we'll be having, so I'm very excited for it. Thank you all for being an amazing audience. Thank you.